And so right now, to show you some of the things that I think we've gotten askewed over the last 50 to 75 years in the post-Enlightenment period, we are going to have a game show. And we have 3 contestants. And the game show this morning is called, Are You Smarter Than, or Do You Know How to Get to Heaven? Basically, are you smarter than a religious fanatic? So if you will give a warm welcome, and all of our contestants, or our contestant and our panel of experts is going to come out, and then I'll introduce you to them. So give them a warm welcome. Come over here. They have titles. Jesus Freak. Jesus Freak, come to me. I would like for you to stand right here so everybody can see you. She is our religious scholar this morning, and she is going to be answering some questions that we are going to put up on the screen. And so then we also have 3 people that are very smart religiously, very obnoxiously smart religiously. The first one that I'm going to introduce you is the one that is jockeying for position on stage. Her name is actually her real name, but she's not obnoxious in real life. Her name is Mackenzie Gary. She is our new summer intern from Pfeiffer University. And so in real life, we are very happy to have her. And she was all about being all in with Wes this morning. So now we are going to pretend that she is obnoxious, an obnoxious religious major and a religion scholar. So this is our obnoxious religion scholar. And then over here, if you went to church in the 1950s, this might be what you would experience. We like to call her the church lady. So will you give the church lady a very warm welcome? Church lady. And then, have you heard of the Apostle Paul in the New Testament? He was responsible for many of the books in the New Testament. This is his long-lost brother, Bill. So will you give Bill from Tarsus a warm welcome?
Shalom. Salame. Shalom.
You could have just stopped with shalom and actually sounded like you knew something about religion. All right, and here we have a Jesus freak, which is the definition of someone who thinks they know everything about the Bible and refuses to listen to opposite opinions. So give her a warm welcome. Now, Jesus freak, which one of our contestants do you want to choose first? Could you have a little more enthusiasm?
The religion major.
The religion major. All right, let's turn around and let's look at our screen. We have $100 animals in the Bible, 500 fruits in the garden, 1,000. When does heaven happen? 100,000, heaven is like, and 1,000,000. What does eschatology mean? And if all of you here worshiping up with us today will learn that last statement at the end, what does eschatology mean? The next time that someone knocks on your door on a Saturday and wants to share with you his faith journey and ask you if you are a follower of Jesus, and I say his because in my personal experience, most of them have been men. If you ask them, do you believe in a realized eschatology? I promise they will not stay at your door very long. That is my tactic. After I say that I'm an ordained minister in the United Methodist Church, I ask them if they believe in a realized eschatology, and they leave with no further discussion. So if you will learn that statement, everything will be well. So, Jesus freak, which one of those categories do you want to do?
When does heaven happen?
When does heaven happen? All right, for $1,000, when does heaven happen? Now, here are our suggested answers. When we die, now, or both. When, and I want those of you who are worshiping with us at West this morning to answer this question in your brain. When does heaven happen? Does it happen when we die? That's A. Does it happen right now? B. Or C, both. Jesus freak, do you want to answer this question, or do you want our scholar to answer?
I'll have the scholar answer.
Okay.
Oh, it's definitely A.
Do you believe that?
No.
What
I
do
think it's C.
C?
Yeah.
A and B, when we die and now. Well, religion scholar, you might want to take another class there at Pfeiffer because she is correct. Heaven does not just happen when we die. We refer to heaven happening when we die and also right now. So let's give her a sympathy applause, if you will. Oh, that sounded like sympathy applause. I need y'all to have a little more energy. All right, question number 2. Heaven is like A, a church service that goes on forever. I thought they were the ones sighing for a minute. I'm like, really? That's some audacity to, do that out loud. B, nothing we can comprehend. Or C, a real dimension, space, and place of God's creation where God's will and only God's will is done. Or D, simply another way for saying God. E, A, B, and C, or F, B, C, and D. So the question is, because you've all forgotten it, heaven is like a church service that goes on forever, nothing we can comprehend, a real dimension, space, and place of God's creation where God's will and only God's will is done, or D, simply another way for saying God, or E, the first 3, or F, the last 3. Which one would you like to choose over there?
Is she okay? I'll choose church lady.
You're going to be so glad you did, because let me tell you, honey, I have done disciple 1 through 995,000.
Do they have that many?
I don't think they have that many. I
Yes,
think it's
they
like
do.
disciple 1 through 4, but continue, church
Yes.
lady.
All right. I'm going to try to remember those answers you said, but I know one of them's right. That number A about heaven being like an all-day forever church service. Honey, there's nothing like it. It looks like you could use a few sitting in those hard pews for hours, listening to them talk about, we're going to burn and die if we don't follow the commandments. I know that one's right. I know it is.
So that's your answer? You think heaven's like a church service that goes on forever?
Yes. It has to be.
How many of you think heaven is like a church service that goes on forever? Please clap. I will be resigning my position as pastor of West. Actually, she's wrong, and they are right. What do
hope
you think
so.
it's like? Well, I know.
I don't think I could sit next to her.
It would be an intense experience.
I'm going to go with F.
F. So actually, that is saying that heaven is like everything but a church service that goes on forever. Is that correct?
I hope so.
Yes. Well, so do most of the people sitting out there. So that is correct. All right. And our last question. So Bill, the Apostle Paul's brother, you get the toughie, the $1 million question. What does eschatology mean? Now, do you want to let Bill answer or do you want to try?
Oh, I'm going to let Bill answer.
Can we do this like charades?
Yes.
My brother Saul and I, on our way to Tarsus, he got some schmutz
Come over
in his
here so
eye and
everybody
went
can
blind,
see you.
and I don't know what happened. And
So
I got nobody to do
eschatology.
charades with.
Eschatology. What does
Yes, ma'am.
eschatology mean?
3 words. Study. Sagging. What?
Study butt? I mean, really? Come on now. What is this, Steve?
End.
Study end.
I don't have my sundial with me.
Time.
You got it. Study end times.
Study the end of time. Yes. Thank you. Give Jesus Freak and Bill and our contestants a hand. Thank you.